And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, entertainment, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, empower, and most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we want you to save our hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. Make sure you bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we vetted, we bring on the show to help you understand more about your buying decisions, your daily decisions, help you avoid a lot of that commission-based advice that's so prevalent out there. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. Intelligent Talk Radio, and I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Mark Albrechta back in studio. He's a local attorney here, and he's a legal analyst on our show, general and civil litigation. Welcome in, sir.
Nice to be here.
Yes, sir. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, I guess we want to talk about the latest brouhaha with Florida's gun-related laws, which is the Florida Stand Your Ground.
Florida Stand Your Ground, yeah, big case happening out of Clearwater. We'll talk more about that. And we'll jump into a little civil litigation as well, maybe some real estate probate law and guardianship as well. So awesome. Thanks for coming back. Clint Bertucci in the house. Traver.life. Yes, sir.
Good to be here.
Good stuff, man.
So we do fully guided international travel trips for young professionals, you know, in their 20s, 30s. We do Thailand, Italy, Spain, Greece, all sorts of stuff.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
Now, what about, I'm in my early 40s now, so am I out of the league? Okay.
Hey, listen, as long as you got a zest for life and you want to get out there and you want to see some new stuff, we're all about that.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, man, really excited to hear update from you.
For sure.
Really cool the way you've kind of grabbed the lifestyle and you said, hey, you know, and it's what Gary Vee talks about, you know, a lot of the different internet marketers, they talk about, or speakers, I should say, they talk about finding that niche, finding what makes you passionate and drives your life and something that you would do if you weren't calling it work. And you've been able to establish that through your business, Traver.life. So really cool story. Awesome. Good stuff. As you know, I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. I want to let you know about an open house that we've got going on this weekend. It's a beautiful property, 5506 Dallas Way in Valrico. Beautiful property, 11 to 2 this Sunday. Come check it out. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, $545,000 listing of mine in the River Hills Country Club in Valrico. Beautiful property. Also, check out our beachfront property that we have listed with Platinum MVP Realty, 1370 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 401 in Clearwater. This is on the Sand Key Bella Rosa condo, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, $1.175 million listing of mine. Beautiful property. It's an in unit, so you got windows on the side, and it's right on the beautiful Gulf of Mexico in gorgeous Clearwater Beach, Florida. And we're going to talk a little stand your ground today. We also have a feel-good story of the week in our Tell Me Something Good segment. Chick-fil-A gives baby free food for life after couple unexpectedly delivers her in the restaurant. So find out about that. Also, top 10. We got a jam-packed show. We're going to do a top 10 of the highest paid musicians and artists. The top 10. We just broke it down, and the millions of dollars that these artists are making. So let's jump right into it. Let's have some fun. All right. So Mark Albrechta, yeah, man. You know, I saw that video in Clearwater, and it seems like everybody has an opinion now on social media. You know, I was looking at Mike Calta's feed. He said, you know, this is murder. Was his opinion on his social media Instagram. I think a lot of people feel the same. It's you know, kind of like the old school we were talking about. You know, I thought that you had to have, you know, instant pressure to think that you're going to die, and in that situation, the video shows the guy getting pushed, he falls down, yeah, he hit his head pretty hard, but the stand your ground law is in place for these specific situations.
Right, and you know, in my past, I was a public defender, did a lot of criminal defense work in the early part of my career, and in those days, you had the classic self-defense. That's really all you had. And in that time period, and it's still there in the law in Florida, but you had to retreat. Unless you were in your house, you had to retreat. And then if you couldn't retreat anymore, or you were put in a position where retreating did no good, for example, someone's pointing a gun at you,
right,
it doesn't do much to retreat, then you had the right to use equal force on that person. And you know, one example might be I had an attorney that was attacked with a bat. Now he was a big guy, he thought he could deal with it, but they took him out with a bat. Well, if he had a gun, he could have used the gun in that situation, because a bat can be deadly. So you know, you're thinking they equal force with equal force. That's the standard classic self-defense.
Right.
The stand your ground law changed that, in the sense that you don't have to retreat. If you are in a situation where you believe that you're in imminent or great bodily harm going to be caused to you. Now, and so it's a relatively new law. They tweaked it a little bit the last couple of years, and made some changes in it, which basically flipped the presumption. So when you first had the law come out, you had to prove basically the defense existed. Now the prosecutor has to prove that it didn't exist. And proving a negative is a very difficult thing to do. I know, because I did a lot of criminal defense work, and a lot of times you're trying to prove the negative, or at least show the negative enough to get the reasonable doubt.
Right.
So this is where, and I think there's the people that are, you know, out there saying that it's murder really aren't totally understanding the law. And I saw the press conference, or at least a part of the press conference of Sheriff Galtieri, where he outlined why they were not arresting the guy.
Wow.
And he went right out of the statute.
Yeah.
And so if you raise it, the state has to prove that it didn't exist.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, I'm looking at the statute here. It says home protection, use or threatened use of deadly force, presumption of fear of death, or great bodily harm.
Right.
And then it goes through, it has, you know, lots of different behind that. But so I guess in this case, the threatened use of deadly force is what they were going to say. Well,
and you got to understand, I saw the video, I've seen it a few times, that shortened segment where the guy came out, the 28-year-old came out of the door and basically just slammed the guy to the ground.
Yeah.
Now, in my mind, first of all, okay, who's wrong here?
Right.
You know, frankly, you know, if you want to get right down to the very beginning, why, if you don't have a handicap, why are you parking in the handicap spot? Number one, you know, that's a violation of law.
Right.
And so should the guy have taken it upon himself to, you know, kind of vigilante justice on that? Maybe not. But from my view, and there's no sound on the video, so I don't know.
Right.
From my view, watching the guy as he's talking to her, I don't see him being necessarily aggressive. What I see him doing is pointing out that she's parking in a spot and she really doesn't need to be there.
Right.
She was in the car. It didn't look like, you know, from what I could tell, that he was really being threatening, except to say, you know, this isn't right.
Yep.
And then the boyfriend, or, you know, comes out and slams him.
Yeah.
And in my mind, at that point, I mean, he could have gotten hurt very seriously. And if you believe the guy's there and could do harm to you, then I could see where the reasonable situation could arise, where he would think that, especially since he's talking to her, and the next thing he knows, he's flat on his back.
Yeah.
You know, having been slammed to the ground.
Yep.
And when I was doing criminal defense work as a public defender, we'd have these kind of cases. You know, some of the criteria we're looking at: what's the age of the parties, what's their physical makeup, you know, physicality, and so all of those would go into the, you know, determination as to whether we could make out a self-defense defense.
Sure.
stand your ground, again, like I said, changes that a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look back to the way that video rolled out. So yeah, I agree. Should he have been saying that? Maybe not. Was there a car waiting to pull into that spot? Probably not. Could have been avoided by just using the old golden rule, right? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So you think about that, the way that rolled out, and then now it's going to be this big controversy. Right. There's all this controversy in the news, and they're flashing back to other stories here. There's 5 times Florida stand your ground law sparked controversy. The article says Florida's controversial self-defense law is in the news again. So the killing of this McLaughlin 28-year-old who was shot by another man after 2 argued in a parking space on Thursday. It's most recent in a long succession of controversies over the law, commonly known as stand your ground. Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri announced his office wouldn't charge the killer, the 47-year-old Draca. There. So if he looks back, it talks about the 2012 death of Trayvon Martin. You got the backstory here. There's a Pasco County movie theater shooting. Remember that one?
Well, that one's still going on because they're going to trial here
wow.
in the future. That one's still going on.
Wow.
Because he raised that under the old version of the law, original version of the law. He raised it.
Let's talk about that on the other side. I want to revisit that one. Can you imagine in a movie theater? You're checking your phone status or whatever. Somebody gets upset. Boom. Next thing you know, somebody's dead. So, all right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. More from our expert contributors, attorney Mark Albrechta and Clint Bertucci in the house. We'll see you right after this short break.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Once
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, former USF football player, longtime quarterback on our sports teams. And now we're quarterbacking a different game. We're quarterbacking introductions to all of our expert contributors, 80-plus show partners that we have here, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, all the best that we can connect you with. And that's what I want to be. I want to be that super connector, putting you in touch with, maybe you need a new CPA. Maybe you're looking for, advice in the legal realm. There's a lot of ways that we can connect you with our expert contributors. Of course, we're very heavy on the real estate side, the mortgage, the home inspections, those types of things as well. Very good at that. But we'd love to be your quarterback on your next transaction if you're buying, selling, or investing. Also, by the way, we're looking for real estate agents right now. We're looking for agents that might want to join our team and be featured on our show. And there's a lot of extra benefits there that we can help you with. So back here in studio, Mark Albrechta, attorney Mark Albrechta, legal analyst for our show. We got Clint Bertucci as well, Traver.life. You're going to find out more about his really unique business that he set up and kind of living a dream life. Really, really cool opportunity there that he has for travel as well. So I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that I've got over in Pinellas County. This one's 12091 145th Street in Largo. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. It's just reduced down to $299,000. We're having an open house at this property this weekend as well. 12091 145th Street in Largo. Beautiful property over there, close to the beach, and it's not in a flood zone, so it's a great property to check out. Let's give a shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, our official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard, and it's located right there off of Bay Street next to the Renaissance Tampa Hotel International Plaza. Now, they have a special running right now for our listeners and our viewers of our TV show on WeBeam TV. All you have to do is walk in, say that you're a fan of the show, and you're going to get hooked up with a free appetizer just by mentioning the Consumer Quarterback Show. So go say hello to our friends at Brio Tuscan Grill and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They're going to hook you up with a free appetizer. Also, check them out on the weekends. They've got an awesome brunch going on right now. Really good food over there at Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza in Tampa. All right, let's jump right back into it. So, Mark, we were talking about the old shooting that happened in Pasco County, the movie theater shooting. So what were you saying?
Well, what I was saying is that actually, according to the information I have, is that's going to trial in February next year. So it's still in place. And what happened is he raised the stand your ground. The courts have said no, it wasn't available to him in that circumstance. And in fact, there was a recent ruling last year on that turned down his claim that he was entitled to.
Because the guy just turned around and flipped his popcorn up or something like that, right?
Well, there was, he's was not happy with the guy, using his cell phone and some other things in there. And like you said earlier, a lot of this, I think, would be avoided if people treated others as they wanted to be treated.
Yes.
And and it's unfortunate, but people get emotional and they act out on it. And
that's right. They lose their head.
And they do things sometimes that are seriously have serious consequences. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But it says Curtis Reeves, a retired police officer, police captain, took exception. And it said he flipped the popcorn, threw some popcorn on him, and he shot him in the chest.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a little bit harsh.
And, some of the commentators out there are basically saying, be careful who you're dealing with. These road rage situations and things like that.
Right.
You don't know who you're going to run into that's going to be armed or be in a mood where they're going to be willing to take life into their own hands.
There's a lot of nuts out there. They're just waiting for something to happen. I mean, it literally is. You see it time and time. You see it here and there. You're a bystander. You're just kind of seeing these things happen.
Right.
And that's why we end our show with let's start a random act of kindness. Let's be kind. Let's help the homeless. Let's volunteer. When was the last time that you actually went and volunteered and helped someone else besides yourself? Have you fed the homeless recently? Have you gone into a nursing home? There's so much more to this life than iPhones and video games. I mean, there's so many people get caught up in this. But all right, so let's talk about your practice here in Tampa, Mark. So Mark Albrechta, he's our legal analyst, and he's doing a lot of general and civil litigation. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, what exactly does that mean?
Well, that takes in a lot of things, and it could be real estate one day, probate, some guardianship litigation. I even do some of that. Not too many people do that. Not too many people do the probate litigation, which means you're going in and actually having trials or hearings in probate. Probate and guardianship are document-driven mainly, but occasionally you get into disputes, and you have to go in front of a judge and have a hearing like you would, in a regular case.
So probate is where someone dies intestate, meaning they did not have a will in place or a last will and testament, right? Is that where the
probate
term
would cover someone who has a will and would also not have a will.
Oh, so either way. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And it's more difficult when they don't have a will.
Okay. So then that's when you get into, well, my mom promised me this jewelry, this heirloom, and, no, she promised it to me. So that's where you get into that. So you can, help people with that. Civil litigation could come up anywhere.
Right. And I do some business-related stuff. So if it's, which would include collection-type work even, or defending those kinds of things. So it could be, a business contract dispute, could be any number of things related to that, and it's just the civil litigation area doesn't include the criminal that we've been talking about. It doesn't include bankruptcy. It doesn't include admiralty or anything of some of that stuff. I don't do. I have done it, but I don't do personal injury work.
Yep.
I generally refer that out. That's, it's just kind of the stuff that most people run into on a daily basis, and you hope you don't need a lawyer, but occasionally it happens and you need some help.
Yeah, you hope you don't get sued as a business owner. Right. There's all these things people can sue for any reason, literally for breathing the same oxygen that you're breathing, in the room. We're in a litigious society, as we all know now. So there's a lot of challenges that come with that. So I think a lot of that comes into your planning. Are you structured as an LLC? Are you a PA? How do you structure your entities?
And I get the question all the time, can I be sued? And I answer yes.
Yeah, of course you can.
And I say, what your real question is, will they succeed if they sue me?
Right.
That's what your real question is.
Right.
Because anybody can sue for anything, anytime, anywhere, basically. And, obviously you defend it.
Yes.
If I'm hired to defend it, and if there are grounds that it should go away, you make that go away as quickly as possible. But occasionally you have to go, full bore and go to trial. Yeah.
Got to go to trial a lot of times. And a large percentage, by the way, if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with attorney Mark Albrechta here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a lot of people look at, the whole litigious society and they think they're protected, but they're really not.
Correct.
And they're, they're spending personal money in the business, and those types of things can unveil what they call the corporate, pierce the corporate veil. Correct?
Right. And that's a challenge I've thrown out to people. No one's accepted it yet, but I've thrown out the challenge for several years. Bring me your corporation, your LLC, and I'll go through it.
Wow.
Fairly quickly.
So is that something you're offering on the show here, like a review? Or
yeah, I'll do a review.
Okay.
It'd have to be a minimal charge for that, but I would do a review, because a lot of people aren't. They think that just registering and renewing every year is all they need to do.
Right.
And there's a little bit more to it, and a lot of people don't do the things that they need to do to make sure that they keep that shield nice and strong, instead of turning it into mesh.
Yeah, there's the meetings, the minutes. There's certain things need to be, you have certain paper trails on certain things. So attorney Mark Albrechta, consumerqb.com. Just reach out to our website. All of his contact information is there at consumerqb.com. You can contact him directly. You can give us a call on our hotline, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. And we would love to put you in touch with him or any of other expert contributors that you might be looking for. So I want to bring Clint Bertucci into the conversation now. Traver.life, really cool business. Let's start with maybe an overview of where you started with it.
Well, I mean, we kind of already know what Traver is, right? So where I started, basically, I was in the financing industry. I had a home financing company for like 10 years, and the market shifted back in, what was that, 06?
Yeah.
Yep. And I ended up going back to school and studying abroad. And it was the first time I actually went to Italy. And I studied abroad again, and then I moved back there for a year, you know, after I graduated, going back to college. Didn't know what I was going to do, and just started traveling and loved it, man. And just all these cultures and meeting people and traveling the world. And I said, you know what, when I get done with this venture of traveling, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start a company and bring people together.
Nice.
You know? And that's what I kind of did.
So Traver.life, so the company is guided tours, really unique tours, and it's smaller, intimate settings. Yeah.
So we do fully guided international tours, and we, you know, it's based for young professionals. Like, the itineraries are very active. We do a lot of adventurous stuff, ATV riding, you know, going visiting monkeys, playing with elephants, all sorts of stuff like that. And yeah, and it's tailor made. I mean, we have some of the greatest itinerary activities, and it's definitely a lot of fun, man.
That's awesome, man.
Trying to get you on a trip.
Yeah, I'm ready. We got to get something set up, man. Yeah, we had a lot going on last year, getting married, and, you know, the honeymoons and all that good stuff, but the wedding. But yeah, man. So we're going to talk more about that. I want to jump into some of your upcoming travels. I mean, you've gone Thailand, Italy, you got Peru coming up. So we're going to talk more about that on the other side of this break here with Clint Bertucci, Traver.life. Also coming up, we have our top 10 highest paid, highest earning musicians. So this could be a group or even a single artist. And we have our feel-good story of the week as well. Chick-fil-A gives baby free food for life after couple unexpectedly delivers her in restaurant. All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook.com Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll see you right after this short break.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. We want to educate, entertain, enlighten, and engage to help you win. I want you guys to check out, do me a favor, check out wholebodyfuel.com, wholebodyfuel.com. It's conveniently delivered, healthy food delivered to your home or office, chef-made meal prep, really good food. These guys are awesome now. It's teasing the taste buds every day. You know, it's like, wow, awesome food delivered. They've even got their signature world-famous protein donuts. Now, these things are good. It's got protein powder for the mix, so it's protein donuts, so it's not quite as bad, but I actually eat them for dessert. You know, I'll eat them for dessert, a little slice up a half a donut, and there you go. But wholebodyfuel.com, these guys are very talented. They've got a great business and a great team over there. Wholebodyfuel.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for special incentives. Let them know you heard about it from the Consumer Quarterback Show here. And as you know, I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Got a hot listing in Old Northeast section of St. Petersburg. This is 215 12th Avenue Northeast. Beautiful pre-construction SIPS panel construction home that is almost completed. And we have Fabre Frameworks taking a new shot of the real estate property for us. Fabre Frameworks is the best in all of real estate photography. $1.4 million listing of mine over at 215 12th Avenue Northeast and beautiful St. Petersburg. Beautiful property. You got to check it out.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And coming up, we have our top 10 artists of all time, highest paid musicians, artists of all time, and our Chick-fil-A story coming up as well. So going back to Clint Bertucci here, Clint Bertucci, Traver.life. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the itinerary. What you got coming up?
I actually leave tomorrow for the Peru trip.
I'm jealous, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's our first Peru trip, so I'm very excited. We have a lot of repeat guests on all the trips. It's actually ridiculous how many repeat guests
about
we have.
50%?
I'd say about 40%.
Wow.
And that's high.
That's really high, yeah.
So we have quite a few repeat guests for this Peru trip coming up, and then we've got Thailand November 16th to the 26th.
Nice.
So yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up.
That would be a nice one to get on. What's the plane ticket to Thailand cost?
About anywhere from $700 to $1,200 is what I tell people.
Wow.
So if they're on the lookout, you know, I'd say $1,000.
Yeah.
You know,
just factor in $1,000, and then your package is going to include everything once you get there, the hotel stay.
So basically, what Traver does is all the trips are the same. It includes welcome dinner, farewell dinner, all breakfasts, and all itinerary activities, and the hotel and accommodation.
Nice.
So yeah, people don't really spend too much when they're over there, just, you know, drinks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty much everything's covered.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool, man.
And it's, you know, it's a great experience is what it's all about. It's about bringing people together, and it's really cool to see, you know, after the trips, the people that met on the trip, how they stay in communication and the relationships develop. I see that on social media. So that's a rewarding part of it, you know?
That's really neat. It's kind of like the business networking side, potentially. You know, you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, it really is. And it when you travel with somebody, you actually learn so much more about them. You spend 10 days in Thailand with somebody,
yeah,
you really learn a lot about them, and you do these experiences with them, and it develops quite some incredible relationships.
Yeah, that's really cool. And the pictures on your social media are really awesome. You know, the videos are great. Follow him on social. What is it, Traver or Traver.life? And that's TRAVR.
Correct. .life. And yeah, you know what we do, and I don't put this out there on the website, but on each trip we actually bring a videographer and a photographer.
Nice.
So, you know, they kind of document the experience and get some really good pictures.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, man. Good. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because a lot of times you're trying to capture it all yourself. Yeah. You're pulling out the phone. You're losing the moment.
Yes. Lose the moment a lot.
So you say, hey, put your phone away, you know, grab some here and there, but we're going to have this all done for you.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a done for you system.
Pretty much. Yeah. You document the experience, and, you know, you get to look back and just, wow, that was pretty crazy. We did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just got back. We just did the Italy trip, and we had back-to-back Greece trips. So
Wow.
I literally just got back from that about a week ago, and we had some really great groups out there for that. That was
Super
fun.
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's great. What's one of your favorite places?
I like Thailand a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to say Italy. That's a great trip. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
Thailand is, for me, that's the most adventurous trip.
Is it because it's exotic? It's just different. It's further?
You know, it's every single day during that trip, you're just like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, every single day we're doing something fun and exciting, whether we're hiking up to this mountain and then just overlooking all these islands, and just every day your mind is blown.
That's super cool, man.
That's one of my favorites.
So you did the Thailand trip, and I look back, and I think it was about 2010. I took my mom and daughter on a Mediterranean cruise, and it was Disney. So my daughter was like 5 or 7, in that range at the time. So waking up to Donald and Daisy, and but the best part is that we flew into Barcelona, Spain. So we did. I forgot how many ports of call, but it was like a 15-day cruise.
Wow.
And we saw Barcelona. We went to Tunis, Tunisia, North Africa. So you got to see a little bit of that culture. Malta, the island of Malta. And then 3 ports of Italy, the south of France, Corsica, some of those islands right there. So really cool. Just
wow, that sounds like a good one.
It was a great trip.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. But the traveling is just something that's so cool. I think too many times people focus on, having the big house, the shiny car, the shiny watches, and less time of budgeting money to travel.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it really is something that you either do or you don't. You either make it a habit, and that's what's really great is a lot of people that go on our trips, they end up, some are veteran travelers, but then also some people come for their first time, and then they start traveling, making it a habit and going every year and rewarding themselves and living their lives.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. I totally agree.
Yeah, making it a part of your yearly plan and budgeting in that for the travel and entertainment. And
so many people don't do that.
Yeah.
And don't take the time to do that.
What are they missing?
Oh, they're missing a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people that it's their passion. So, I've used this before, this analogy of somebody might like working on cars, and that's what makes them click. And good for them. That is, if that's what their passion is, then do it.
Right.
But if you got somebody that's, I want to travel, but I'm too busy or I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's an excuse. It's make the time. You have the money. You're just allocating it in different spots.
Right.
You're buying a coffee every day.
Yeah.
You're using an $800 phone. Your shoes are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The money's usually there.
Yeah.
It's just.
Especially when you think about business marketing. I listen to Gary Vee a lot, and he talks about, hey, if you're not doubling down on Facebook ads or Instagram, now he'll go into different strategy, but a lot of his talk is about, hustling. And if you're in a big house, you don't need it. Sell the house, rent in a small, put your extra money into something that's going to help you grow more.
Yeah.
And use those resources more wisely instead of living up to the expectations of what your classmates had, or he's got this beautiful watch, I want to watch like that, so that way next time I go to dinner I can show everybody. There's so much of that in our society now.
There is a lot, and people feed into it big time.
Yeah, it's keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
If you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Clint Bertucci. He is the owner and founder of Traver.life. So Traver.life coming up. You got the Peru trip coming up?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow, and that Peru trip is August 3rd to the 9th. So I'm very excited about that. We do a great ATV ride out there, like a half-day ATV ride. We're going everywhere, all over these mountains.
Nice.
And then we visit Machu Picchu and do a bike tour. We do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. My daughter loves Peru.
Really?
Yeah, she's gone down there with her mom and her dad, her stepdad. They love it. She loves
some
it down
great
there.
Pictures, right?
Yeah.
She got any
really
pictures
cool.
with the llama?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, she did. Yeah, it's fun,
funny.
man. That's a really cool trip. So August 3rd, and I like that. So that's something, when you said the dates, I was like, wow, that's bite-sized enough that a busy professional could take, 6 days off?
Yeah, and that's actually, that's our first Peru trip for Traver, and that's what we're going to do is next year we're going to roll out a couple of those, because that's, a short 6-day trip, quick flight, inexpensive flight, and we're going to make that our regular trip. And then also next year we're going to add Iceland too.
Wow.
So yeah,
very cool.
We're adding quite a few.
That is really cool. So Peru, keeping a nice schedule on it. I like that.
Yeah, we do 6 days. We do Lima, and then we go to Cusco, and then fly back to Lima, and that's all included, like all the flight when we're over there. So yeah, then we go back to Lima and eat our farewell dinner, and everybody goes on their way.
Nice.
I'll see you on the next trip.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of packages do you have? What can you give us a high, low, or price point wise, like what people can expect?
Yeah, we usually we try to roll our packages out January 1st for the whole year, and then as they book up, they go up in price as they sell out. But we try to keep them right around $2,000 plus flight.
Nice.
So they're very affordable. You know, we do 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, depending on where we stay, but minimum 3-star. And it's all about the experience, you know.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's right. You know, that's when you look back, a lot of people you hear, you know, when I look back to my life, I didn't say I would have went back in the office for those extra hours. It was spending time with family, you know, traveling, making new experiences, because that's what you can take with you.
It's true.
Yeah.
Totally
awesome.
agree.
All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we have our lightning round as well as our top 10. We're going to do our top 10 here of highest paid artists of last year. And we also have our feel-good story of the week. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty. And I've got a hot listing up in Hudson I will let you know about on Islander. I've got a property on Islander in Hudson. This is a $398,000 waterfront beauty. Beautiful property here, Hudson. Check out the updated pictures at PlatinumMVPRealty.com. This is a owner-motivated property, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 6-car garage, and over 2,200 square foot of garage space. So a beautiful property in Hudson. Bay access, waterfront, 7441 Islander Lane in Hudson. It's a beautiful property. Compliments of PlatinumMVPRealty.com. Now, I got a beautiful property here in South Tampa as well, 3911 West Euclid Avenue. This is in the Belmar area subdivision. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, $837,000, and it is a beautiful property here. Too many upgrades to list. Move-in ready, 4,000 plus square foot, and a beautiful property. Now, the best part for parents, in some cases, it's in the Plant High School district. So if you're looking to get into that district, a lot of people are. 3911 West Euclid Avenue, powered by PlatinumMVPRealty.com. All right, we got attorney Mark Albrechta in studio, legal analyst for our show. Talks a lot about general and civil litigation. Clint Bertucci as well. Traver.life. Gosh, we go back over 10 years, don't we? Something
Crazy.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years. So more than that, actually. All right, so you guys ready for this top 10? Let's have some fun.
We'll give it a
so
shot.
every now and then we like to have a little fun, do a top 10, mix it up. You know, sometimes we do the song clips, name that tune. But today we're talking about the highest grossing musicians and musical artists. So this is, you know, either acts or, you know, solo acts or actual groups. All right, so anybody want to guess? Let's start right here with Mark. Give me a top 10. Somebody that's in the top 10, an artist that
throw Beyonce out there.
Throw Beyonce in there. Let's see. That's a good one. Let's see.
Ding ding ding.
Let's see. Beyonce. Strangely enough, I don't see her here. Nope, no Beyonce on this one. But that would have been a good one.
I'm out of touch.
I would have been. Yeah, that would have been. But it's got all kinds of bands and stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna say let's go Bieber.
Bieber. Justin Bieber.
Yep.
Gosh, man, he must be like 2016 or something.
Damn.
He's not on the list.
All right.
Big band, famous band from a long time ago.
Bruce Springsteen.
Not on the list. Not on the list. This is current though. This is a current list. All right, so let's go back to 15. I know we talked about top 10, but we'll go back to number 15. Luke Bryan, but one of the best country acts out right now, and he's also doing the TV show, whatever, one of those shows where you have the artists come up and all that. They all have American Idol or one of those.
Voice or something.
Yeah,
like
Voice. That's right. Yeah. Number 14, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, well.
So they're still getting after it. They made hefty 738.6 million in streams in 2017, which translates into 1.4 million in earnings. So let's see here. 13, Kendrick Lamar. I don't know a lot about him. $9.5 million in recording and publishing royalties. The Weeknd at number 12. Here's a throwback. You got number 11. You got Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 40th anniversary tour, which wrapped up just weeks before his fatal opioid overdose. Coldplay, number 10. Let's see. Number 9 is Roger Waters. Pink Floyd, to his part of the Pink Floyd. Let's see, how much did he do? 1.3 million. Guns N' Roses coming in at number 8. Guns N' Roses, 25.9 million.
Wow.
Billy Joel,
Madison
Square Garden residency, plus another 15 arena stadium shows. Highest paid live act of 2017. He earned, let's see, having his recording, $1.8 million in royalties last year. Lady Gaga, number 6. She's coming in at 2.3 million downloads, were her strongest, but her biggest check, she left number 6 last year. All right, let's see. Ed Sheeran, he's on the hot list here. Let's see, 11.5 million. All right, now we're getting into the big dollars. Bruno Mars, 2.6 billion streams. That's a lot of streams. And I don't see the number total here.
That is a lot of streams.
Where is the number total on that one? All right, Metallica's in there as well, coming in at number 3. Metallica, which is kind of odd to me. That sounds, I just didn't think they would be that high. So they were royalties and sales, 1.4 million album copies, $88.7 million last year. That was their translation.
People getting back to that heavy metal roots, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Number 2 is Garth Brooks, one of my old favorites from back in the day. Garth Brooks, he did 390 concert tour dates at the end. That was a 3.5 year tour. $137.3 million. Garth Brooks netted that, and that netted him 46.7 in take-home pay. Number 1 on the list, U2.
Oh, U2.
Wow.
U2. So let's see what was there. They did bulk of the band's 54.4 million in take-home pay. So really, if you break it down, they had multiple people. Garth Brooks really is the one that made the most. Breaking it down.
Good for him.
Yeah, making the tours. Saw him in Orlando a couple years ago. All right, so every week we want to tell you something positive. We're going to give you a positivity injection here. We got a feel-good story of the week here in our Tell Me Something Good.
Tell me something good.
All right, so Chick-fil-A They delivered a baby in a Chick-fil-A. Can you believe it? So it's always been the Griffins family's favorite restaurant, but it was not the place they planned to deliver their baby. However, that's exactly what happened. In fact, Robert and his wife Fallon bought Graceland a little nugget onesie 3 months ago, never knowing how appropriate it would be. On Tuesday evening, Fallon began intense contractions, so she and her husband headed to the hospital. On the way, the couple dropped off their 2 older daughters with family friend. They met in the parking lot at Chick-fil-A, and then Falcon said that she had to use the restroom and couldn't wait. Although the restaurant was closed, the staff let Fallon in, and that's when she went into labor. I'm about to dial 911. I opened the door, and she just screaming. Brenda Enriquez, the Chick-fil-A store director, she told the news station that. She grabbed towels, yelled for Robert, and that's when Dad had to deliver. So I went in and looked at her. She said, "You're going to do it right here, right now," Robert said. So I stopped at her shoulders. So anyways, the baby was delivered at 10:30 p.m. 10 minutes later, emergency medical service personnel arrived and took the family to the hospital. And as a reward of her unexpected birth at the restaurant, Chick-fil-A is giving Graceland free food for life and guaranteeing job at 14 years old.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
They do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, they're one of the few that are closed on Sundays and all that. All right, let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning round.
All right.
I majored
Top tips,
in lightning round.
nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, attorney Mark Albrechta.
Well, like we've talked about before, if you don't plan, things can go bad. And so I'm out there talking to people, trying to get them to do their wills, do their directives, deal with their business situation so they don't run into those problems. One of the things I recommend to people if they're doing invoicing or contracts is throw an attorney fee provision in there, because sometimes attorney's not interested in your case unless there's a possibility you can get paid.
Right.
If you're suing on a relatively small amount, the attorney may not be interested unless he has the possibility of getting paid at the end. So, and I help people draft those and put them in their documents.
I like that. Attorney's fees, add it into what document?
Their invoicing or their contracts. And, because you can't get attorney's fees unless it's by statute or by contract. So
Gotcha.
There are very few statutes that allow it.
Gotcha. All right, Clint Bertucci, Traver.life.
My parting words of wisdom are just go. Don't wait for your friends to go. Don't make any more excuses about time or money. Just go travel the world. I don't care whether you go with Traver or you go by yourself or with a friend. Just go, man. Go out there and experience something new. And, if we can motivate you in any way, follow us on social media, Traver.life on Instagram or Facebook. We post all sorts of pictures. Maybe it'll spark some motivation, get you out there and see something.
Yeah, exactly. Book it and it's real, right?
Yes.
Schedule it and it's real at that point.
It's true.
It becomes real. A lot of times, in business too, it's applicable. We come up with ideas. We're talking on the weekends. Oh, I got this great idea. You got the happy hour ideas flowing. But then when it comes to Monday morning, did you put them into action?
Nope.
That's why, one of my favorites, Tony Robbins, he talks about never leave the sight of setting a goal without taking some type of an action step toward achieving that goal. Could be something as simple as pulling out the smartphone, sending a text message, scheduling a meeting, sending an email. But at least at that point, you set the wheels in motion and the idea is not forgotten. Yep. But that's it. It could be, translated into business too. So, let's see. So we talked a lot about today. We had this. We started off the show with a stand your ground. Wow, interesting, controversial thing. We talked about what Mark is able to help with general civil litigation, real estate probate, a lot of areas that you can help out, Mark. So we want you reaching out to attorney Mark Albrechta. And also, Clint Bertucci talked about all the cool trips he's got coming up, and every year he's scheduling these trips so you can go and take advantage of the itinerary, and basically you're just responsible for your flight. And then once you get there, he's going to take care of some of your meals and all of the accommodations, scheduling really cool excursions. How about, give me another excursion? What's a cool excursion? We've got about a minute left.
We walk on the Italy trip, or the Greece trip even. We do the final day, we do a catamaran over the sunset of Oya, and then we get our farewell dinner on the catamaran as we watch the sunset. It's amazing to end on that note.
That's awesome.
That makes the Greece trip wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Really cool stuff. Well, I want to thank attorney Mark Albrechta. He's our legal analyst for the Consumer Quarterback Show, general civil litigation, guardianship work as well. And Clint Bertucci, Traver.life. Check him out. Follow him on social, putting some really cool stuff up there. Traver.life. Reach out and find out more about his packages and join him. You know, schedule it, make it real. Join him on one of these trips. I'm going to be on one next year. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That'll be great.
And thanks for tuning into our show, following us on social media at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food, hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another, and maybe go out and volunteer somewhere. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate split and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
Okay. Listen, I get annoyed at people who park handicap spots and they're not handicapped. I mean, we set them aside for a reason.
Right.
And yeah, I saw.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.